As expected. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 78. Get weather anytime by calling 824-6101 or online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Right now, it's 63 degrees.
WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Time now for your expanded local news. I'm Reed Kamai. This broadcast has been pre-recorded. The Illinois House Energy and Environment Committee held a subject matter hearing this week on the proposed Power Act legislation and the growing number of data centers being planned across the state. The legislation, filed earlier this year as Senate Bill 4103 and House Bill 5513, is designed to address concerns over the energy demands of large-scale data centers and artificial intelligence facilities. Supporters say the measure would help protect residential utility customers and natural resources by requiring data centers to shoulder more of the financial burden tied to increased energy use. According to the Illinois Environmental Council, unchecked growth of hyperscale and AI data centers could raise electricity costs in Illinois by an estimated $37 billion through the year 2050. Illinois currently has 164 operating data centers, along with another 81 projects either planned or under construction. Industry experts say demand for artificial intelligence technology is driving rapid expansion of the data center industry nationwide. Illinois lawmakers have approved new legislation aimed at preventing insurance companies from automatically lowering the value of medical services billed by healthcare providers, a practice commonly known as downcoding. Senate Bill 3114 passed unanimously in both the Illinois House and Senate and now heads to Governor J.B. Pritzker's desk for consideration. Under the legislation, insurance companies would no longer be allowed to rely solely on automated systems when determining whether a medical claim should be downcoded. Instead, all downcoding decisions would have to be reviewed or approved by an actual person. The bill would also require insurance companies to notify healthcare providers whenever a service is downcoded and explain the reason behind the decision. State Representative Bill Howder of Morton, who is also a practicing physician, strongly supported the measure and served as a co-sponsor in the House. Howder said healthcare providers and patients alike are being forced to deal with what he described as a growing tactic within the insurance industry.
You know, they had denials, they had delays in payment. Now, increasingly sophisticated AI-based downcoding is another insurance company tactic that we have to face. We say in medicine that the most accurate and powerful diagnostic tool we have is a retrospectoscope.
Howder also argued that downcoding is unfair not only to medical professionals, but also to patients who depend on accurate billing and insurance coverage for their care.
It ignores our training, our experience, our skill, our education. All of this goes into medical decision-making. It ignores all that.
The Illinois Life and Health Insurance Council originally opposed the legislation. However, the organization later shifted to a neutral position after lawmakers negotiated changes to the bill. Those changes still allow insurance companies to use automated systems during the claims process, while also ensuring healthcare providers have a clear path to dispute downcoded claims. Supporters of the legislation say the measure increases transparency and accountability within the insurance system, while helping ensure doctors and healthcare providers are properly compensated for the care they deliver. For more information regarding the Illinois legislature, visit ilga.gov. State Representative Brad Hallbrook of Shelbyville spoke on the House floor on Wednesday, criticizing what he called political gamesmanship during the final week of the Illinois General Assembly's spring session. Hallbrook said lawmakers have known for months about the approaching budget deadline, but negotiations continue to happen at the last minute and largely behind closed doors. He also pointed to recent reports indicating House Democrats have been discussing possible tax increases during private caucus meetings.
Here we are again, the final week of session in Springfield, a deadline that has been on the calendar for months, and yet somehow we always end up in the exact same place. Budget deals negotiated behind closed doors, massive spending bills dropped at the last minute, and rumors of new tax increases surfacing in the final hours when the public is least likely to notice. It's truly deja vu all over again. Just this past week, reports surfaced that House Democrats are once again discussing tax increases privately in caucus meetings. Once again, members are reportedly asked about what tax hikes they could hold their nose and vote for before this week is over. So what's the play this year? An income tax increase, a new sales tax, a new tax on Airbnb, a digital advertising or social media tax, or maybe even an ammunition tax? What will it be is the question. Because year after year, this General Assembly goes back to the same failed playbook. Spend beyond our means, refuse to tell Governor Pritzker no, and create yet another budget problem. Then turn around and demand taxpayers bail Springfield out once again.
The spring legislative session is scheduled to conclude by the end of the month, with lawmakers expected to finalize the state budget before adjournment. For more information on what goes on in the Illinois General Assembly, once again, visit ilga.gov. The Christian County Health Department is augmenting its stock of online mental health resources. It comes during Mental Health Awareness Month, which runs the month of May. The changes are also happening in parallel with the opening months of the Credible Mind tool being made available to screen users for mental health challenges. Peyton Langan, the health department's mental health case manager, says many of the extra resources are simple online questionnaires through Credible Mind.
So just going through some of these that I think are very interesting. They're all about 5 to 6 minutes, can be shorter, can be longer. You click on it, and one here is how is your self-compassion? Is loneliness impacting your life? What is your attachment style? So it just allows people to go on there and learn a little bit more about themselves through these learning tabs. So again, it's all free. It is just a mental health website that you can get on and navigate any kind of resource throughout Christian County, as well as all the assessments that they create for us. So just a way to make mental health more accessible for people. Like I think you and I have talked about before, ending the stigma around mental health is so important. So something like this helps people that maybe don't want to reach out to myself or any other mental health professional within the community.
In the interest of user privacy, the health department generally does not see information related to users and their responses and results. It does, however, collect usage statistics, including based on what broad issues users are seeking support in.
I know there's been 141 assessments been taken. I didn't dive any deeper into, really what the main ones were. I know grief and stress and physical health and well-being were some of our main ones, just kind of your broad terms. And I think they did that on purpose then to let people, break those down however they would like. So yeah, we've had a pretty good turnout. I think just getting the word out more about the website is, what we're needing. So again, that is christiancountyhealth.crediblemmind.com. So you do have to type that in, on your browser, and it'll bring you right to our page.
The website can recommend local resources for users to consider based on screenings.
Again, on the website, there's local resources. So that's what I want people to know as well. And when you log on there, there's going to be information on the food pantry, the services that we offer at the health department, safe passage information, CEFS information, just some places, some social service agencies that people, maybe they need their assistance, but they don't know what they do. Those are all highlighted right on there. So kind of a tool for people to, maybe they don't want to call and ask these questions. They can look right on there.
Langan also spoke about an initiative she is participating in this month, which is to perform one act of kindness per day. She says it connects well with Mental Health Awareness Month and encourages others to take it up as well.
So just asking people to do one small act of kindness each day, either that being for themselves or for somebody else. in this month of May, just try it out. You don't know how much better it actually makes you feel. So, for example, for myself, yesterday morning, I went and got myself a coffee that I usually don't do. Act of kindness can be really anything, or just holding the door open for somebody, smiling at them, saying thank you. So just for this month and in every other month, just, acts of kindness. So just a good reminder for this month for mental health awareness.
You can access Credible Mind through a link in this story on our website, TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. More information on the Christian County Health Department is available at cchdil.org. Peyton Langan appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. And now, a word from Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. 2026 is an exciting year at TCCU. We are building a new home office, upgrading our mobile app, and preparing to offer mobile check deposit, all to better serve our members. 2026 also marks our 70th anniversary. For 70 years, TCCU has been your local source for low loan rates, great deposit rates, and an organization proud to serve our local communities. Visit any of our convenient locations in Taylorville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, or Painter. You can also visit us online at tccu.org, member NCUA.
County Fair spirit is in the air in Christian County, even 2 months out from when it officially commences. The fairgrounds hosted Mother's Day Mayhem on May 9th, and fair organizers are now looking towards the main event. They are seeking more sponsorships and promoting new events happening during the fair, set for July 21st through the 25th. Angela Olmarsters, Marketing and Promotions Director for the Christian County Fair, says nostalgia is a key theme with this year's fair plans.
You plan all year long with the community in conjunction for the community event for the best week of the year, right? It's Fair Week. And, you see people that you haven't maybe seen for a year. You've worked with them at another fair or festival, and you get, to visit with them. And nothing's more fun than going under the nighttime sky and seeing all the lights of the carnival and the parades and things that go along with the fair, and the tractors, the roar of the tractors in the grandstand. And of course, we've got Gary Allen and Mark Chestnut coming this year. So as far as, setting a nostalgic stage and making memories for the future, I think we're doing pretty good with that.
The Fair Board has sponsorship opportunities still available. Many of these openings are for a variety of spaces on the grounds.
Well, we try to get the sponsors. I try to work with community folks, can be folks that's, working with Christian County, can be anyone. You would need to call 217-820-1690. I am the, marketing person who works with you on various sponsorships. You can sponsor signs, you can sponsor events, you can still sponsor the concert in our VIP, package. So if you want to come out, bring your family, your friends, your work associates, your business relatives, it's a great time. Fair Board has worked very hard with, folks to make sure that we are able to continue this tradition. So going back to nostalgia, we've got the fair that has always had the traditional events. Now we've added new events that can become new traditions. We have generations of families that come out and share good times at the fair.
The final day of the fair is being dubbed Young American Day. Olmarster says there will be activities geared towards kids, but nonetheless enjoyable for those of all ages.
At 9:30, Young American Day will start off with, we've got the registration, which is Commodity FS is producing the kiddie tractor pull. That's always a huge event. The Fair Board, in conjunction with sponsors, and the Fair Board produces the kids' activities. There's watermelon eating contests. There could be sack races. There could be any number of things. This year, we're bringing back for the second time at 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock will be the Lego competition, which is a big event going on the east side of the expo building. So that's going on. There's lots of prizes, lots of cash prizes, lots of cards that are being given out. Bear gives 6 bicycles out for the Young American Day. There's good rates at the carnival. Of course, lots of games going on, things of that nature. So it is a fun event. And then hear the roar of the cars going in the grandstand for the demo derby, right? Saturday night. So Young American Day is a great day at the fair.
The fair is also still accepting applications for vendors. There are openings primarily during the vendor fair, but also at other times during the 5 days.
If you want to be a vendor at the fair, again, if you want to sign up for Community Day Vendor Fair, or we have this Homestead Country Favorites coming on Thursday, which will be like natural products, say flowers, lavender, plants, any kind of natural product, you can call 217-820-1690.
And then that last one you mentioned, so they'll be at the vendor fair. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they'll be at the vendor fair, some on Wednesday night, but then on Thursday, we're having, the Prairieland Dancers and the Western Style Show. But from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock, we're going to kind of concentrate a little bit on lifestyle, homestead lifestyle and homestead lifestyle vendors, things of that nature. And then on the other end of the expo building will be more like your patio furniture, your homework, your remodeling type of thing. So, and then of course we've got an area that's got like the farming, the antique tractor display and things like that.
More information on the Christian County Fair is available at christiancountyfair.com. Angela Olmarsters appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. And now a word from Heartland Bank and Trust.
Your son was 3 when you planted that tree in your backyard. Now he's grown, planting seeds and making memories with his own kids. Let Heartland Bank help you grow more memories with banking options for every stage of your life. Welcome, former CNB customers. We're your community bank. Heartland Bank. We build relationships that nurture and grow your dreams. Visit us today at hbtbank.com, member FDIC.
Illinois Congressman Eric Sorensen, a member of the House Ag Committee, says he's receptive to another aid package for farmers in light of ongoing ag economy challenges.
I think a lot of it's going to depend on what the economy gives us here for this year. Certainly, it does not help when diesel prices are $6-7 a gallon. But I've also heard from a lot of farmers who very early on were able to buy at a lower price point. So that's saving us here. But it's looking at where those export markets are going to be, how our commodities are going to be priced later in the season. But I can tell you from the conversations I have, a lot of farmers are overextended in their capital. And so we do need to make sure that we're doing everything so that they can continue to do the work.
Last December, the Trump administration announced an initial $12 billion farmer bridge payment in response to market disruptions. A Western Illinois farmer is promoting his use of conservation practices. Brian Corkle says it's never been an issue for him to try something new, whether it be cover crops or a wood chip bioreactor. He farms near Galva in Henry County. One of the things he is asked about frequently is the financial bottom line.
So I will say when we started utilizing cover crops, the ag economy was really good. So if we spent $30-35 an acre, it wasn't a huge deal. We were still being profitable. Now in a point in time where the farm economy isn't very good, we are reaping the benefits, so we don't have to put on as much fertilizer. We probably cut back by 40-45% of what we would have been putting on prior to starting to utilize cover crops. We don't spend as much money on herbicides. If we get a good cover crop stand, it's going to crowd out some weeds. As an example, last year, my corn acres, I only sprayed a second application on 10% of my corn acres. So all those other acres I saved money on. So there's just a lot of things. So it more than offsets the cost of buying the seed and seeding those cover crops.
Corkle is serving his first year on the Illinois Farm Bureau Board. Now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 84-year-old Penelope Virginia Penny Mooney of Owanaco died on Tuesday. Visitation is this coming Tuesday from 10 till 11 at McClure Funeral Home in Taylorville. The funeral service will immediately follow. Burial will be at Owanaco Cemetery. Arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. And 79-year-old Rita Ann Harris of Taylorville died last Saturday. A celebration of life will take place on June 7th at 2 at the Family Lake House at 401 South Hunt Road in Taylorville. A prayer service will immediately follow. Arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. We're expecting partly sunny skies today with a high near 81. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low around 62. Get local news anytime at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and every hour as well, right here on WTIM.